Hey, it's Storm from Op Critical. How you doing? We putting together a behind-the-scenes take on the new Fear Not video. It's a video contrasting the use of propaganda and fear to control people with a fight against that and an openness to transparency. So we wanted to go through some of the scenes, what was put in, why it was put in, and what was left out, and go from there. Before we got started on this video, we had to get a lot of kind of interesting props, straight jackets, TV that we could smash, some masks, orderly uniforms, cots, and stuff like that. And the producer of the video is a well-known Russian producer who felt a real affinity to the message of the video because he grew up under the Soviet propaganda scene, and he saw similarities to that in what was happening in America. So he took on this video project with a lot of gusto. We started the video out with the famous quote from the Hitler regime, where if you say a lie long enough, many times, that people will believe it, and make it big so people really believe it. So that's it's kind of what the Bush administration has been doing for years. We got a lot of footage of fear footage, propaganda footage, 9/11 footage, and we put this in. One of the things that, if you look carefully at the beginning of the film, where I'm watching the TV, you can actually see the reflection in my eye. We've got the engineer from the studio there, Dave, setting up and setting up all the lights, and it was quite extraordinary having all these cameras at different angles and different types of cameras. Oh, you got Dimitri there in the hat. You got Matt, practicing up for his parts, and then you've got Shadow on the drums. We had an interesting technique that we used on the drums. We had he was actually using 2 snare drums, and the kind of crack sound that you hear in the song, he has a cymbal on the top of the snare of the second snare drum, and that's what gets that really cool cracking sound. That's Sims on the keyboards. He played multiple roles here. He played the keyboards, in his normal look, and then he dressed up in a suit and tie and did the propaganda footage in the middle. That's Danny Boy playing the guitar, and he's a pretty amazing guy. The straitjacket scene, we had a lot of trouble trying to find a venue for this. We were thinking about doing it in an abandoned mental hospital. We ended up at a high-rise hotel downtown with lights on the side of the hallways. It looks very sterile. And then the other straitjacket scene was done in front of the green screen, and the green screen allows the director to put whatever footage he wants there, and so it had me watching propaganda footage, kind of like Clockwork Orange, in front of the green screen, and then Dimitri superimposed that over that, and also Brian did his take, the propaganda radio footage, TV footage in front of the green screen. I got into my car, and there was propaganda going on the radio, and then I looked in the rearview mirror and saw propaganda being played on the television, and I just got out of my car, picked up the sledgehammer and smashed the TV. We actually had footage on the TV of the 9/11 hijackers coming through the security check at the airport, and we had multiple cameras going on at the time, different angles, and we captured some really cool footage where we didn't really know how a TV would react smashed, and so we got some close-up footage, and you can actually see the gases coming out of the television. It was pretty amazing. I was representing the people of this country and saying we've had enough of this propaganda and fear, and so we're rising up against it, we're rejecting it. And so the smashing of the TV was the metaphor for the rejection of this type of propaganda. One of the really fun parts of the filming was when we had 3 extras come in and play Cheney, Bush, and Rice. And this corresponds to the part in the song where they're taken away for rehabilitation. And this we had these cots bought, and gowns and masks, Bush, Cheney, and Rice, and it took multiple takes because the straps kept coming off the actors, and but it was a lot of fun. A couple things that didn't end up in the video, and one of them was a really cool scene where we had these great newspapers printed up. One of our graphics guys, Jose, printed up these newspapers with these big headlines showing propaganda, and in the scene that got cut, I actually pick up these newspapers and throw them in the trash. But they're very realistic newspapers, and we'll probably use them for something else in the future. Then there was another scene that we worked a long time on, and it was fairly complex because it took place right in the middle of the street downtown Washington, D.C. in real traffic, and we had a bunch of extras come in and put their hands over their face and walk, and I ended up walking through the crowd of people, and as I did, they took their hands off their eyes and could see clearly and walked with me to the Capitol to protest what was going on, and basically it symbolizes the opening of people's eyes so that they can once they see what's really happening, and it's really propaganda. It's not really real. So that's it. I mean, there a lot of work goes into these things. It took 3 or 4 days of shooting and hundreds of takes, and lots and lots and lots and lots of footage. And we had to pare it down to 3.5 or 4 minute song. So we wanted to give you kind of a background so you could see what's involved with all this stuff. Take care and peace.